Hi, welcome to Paranormal Kativity. Ectoplasm. I have loved the subject of ectoplasm ever since I first read about it in my spirit book that I've referred to in my book recommendations before. I was totally fascinated by this subject. And if you're not familiar with ectoplasm, it's not like in Ghostbusters. Sorry to disappoint you. The term originally was coined by a guy named Charles Rickett. And the term really means that it is an outward expression of what a physical medium is able to channel. So pretty much how it would work, in theory, is that a medium would be channeling an entity, and the entity would be able to start manifesting in the room or the space around them. And how they would do it is from an energy that the medium is projecting outwardly. They would manifest with that energy and become stronger, and then at the end of the session or the seance, the energy would be reabsorbed back into the medium. And there are tons of photos of ectoplasm floating around the internet, and a lot of people don't do this type of physical mediumship work anymore because majority of ectoplasm is considered to be faked. It's basically all considered a hoax. So what I wanted to do was just discuss the subject a little bit, because deep down inside, I really truly hope that somehow the beginning of all of the hoaxing came from real instances of people being able to manifest this type of energy and have it turn into spirit contact. I think that'd be amazing, and I wish that I was around in like the 20s, 30s, 40s when this was a super popular thing to do, because you better believe I would be there. I would have been one of those people hosting seances like every week. Now, how it was hoaxed over the years was in a lot of different ways, but for the most part it was like cheesecloth or some other type of physical thing. Sometimes I've heard of it being like eggs, mucus of the body, gauze, paper, different things, and they would be swallowed by the medium and regurgitated. However, some mediums were able to produce it from every orifice of the body. There's instances of people being able to make ectoplasm come out of their eyes and their ears. There's stories about it coming out of people's nipples. Like, it's crazy. In 1919, a Polish medium named Franek Klosik, and if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, he manifested basically Bigfoot. It was a giant, looked like Bigfoot description creature, humanoid face, tall forehead, covered in hair, smelled very strongly like a wet dog, and after it had manifested, it was licking people's hands who were there for the sitting. It first started being able to be seen from a small source of light, and this medium, that's how his ectoplasm was able to begin. It started like anything from a small source of light to a big one, and then it just grew into this. And then the luminous spot would recede back and be a part of him again. And he was able to make this creature manifest multiple times at different seances. So in my research, I came across a couple of stories of ectoplasm that I just thought were really interesting. I wanted to share them with you and get you guys just discussing this subject of ectoplasm with me, because I think it's really interesting whether it's real or not, because if it's not, it makes me wonder where the heck this idea really came from. 1939, a woman named Dana Howard started to claim that she was in contact with a being from Venus named Diane. 16 years later, she met a world-famous medium. Reverend Bertie Lily Candler was her name, and she was going to do a seance session. She ended up being able to channel a being. She went into a trance, and a glowing phosphorescence, which could also be called ectoplasm, started to form near her. And then it grew taller and taller, and it became this very tall, beautiful, goddess-like figure that bowed at the 27 people present for this session. And then a voice came from this being so loud that it vibrated the walls of the little church they were in. And it said, "I am Diane, I come from Venus." So while these mediums had their ectoplasm start as light for the most part, it can come out as threads, web, mucus, jelly, smoke, mist, tons of other ways that people have described what ectoplasm is, looks like, grows from, how it works. But ultimately, this entire trend just died out. And most people think it died out because it was hoaxed for so long. But have you guys ever heard of ectoplasm? I know at least in our era, in our generation, people of our age probably really aren't familiar with it outside of Ghostbusters. But you guys are into the same weird stuff as me, so maybe you've heard of it. And if you have, and you've heard of any other weird stories, tell me about it, because I love these. And if somehow, some way, anybody knows anyone in the world who is still doing physical mediumship that produces ectoplasm, I want to know about it. So please, please, please tell me if you do. If you did not enjoy hearing my discussion about ectoplasm, you can always leave this video a thumbs down, that way I can keep it in mind for next time. But if you did find it interesting, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications, that way you get notified every time I make an upload. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Kat, and this is Paranormal Kativity. Have a strange day. Bye!